hello. Quiet.
Hi.
It's so nice and quiet.
It is.
Hello guys and welcome to the stream. Joining me is David Kirkop and I'm Pavel Buja, as you probably know or don't know. I like the silence in the beginning.
Yeah, it was kind of calm and somber.
Yeah. Hello and welcome wherever you are. So good morning, good evening, or good night, depending where you are. I see a lot of people here in chat. It's really nice. Okay, moving on to what we're here for. Today, we will cover the upcoming hotfix. The hotfix will be coming out in the following days. I won't say the S word. I won't say the S word. Actually, Devil Driven wrote to me on Twitter just before the stream that I probably will say it and I won't say it. I just won't. I'll try at least. So what are some of the most important things that I want to cover in the beginning? We'll go through what we fixed, since this is a hotfix. We'll go over the changes when it comes to cards. We'll talk a little bit in the beginning about changes to the rank system when it comes to distribution of points. And we'll talk about also how we're changing the refund system, as we call it. So what will happen to the cards that their power is decreased? So what will you be able to do with them? Yeah.
That we shall.
That we shall.
That we shall.
So yeah, hotfix coming in the following days. When it comes to cards which were changed, before we had that you only got fragments for it, but now what we want to do is you'll get fragments if it's a normal card. If it's a premium card, you will get the card fragments plus the meteorite powder. So these things will be given to you back, and it's equal to the amount of scraps and powder that you needed to craft that card. And this will last for 3 days only, not 5 days like we had before, but only 3. So that's the most important change. So we should probably dive into the changes when it comes to the ranking system and the points.
Yeah, totally.
Because we've been getting a lot of feedback from you guys, and I know that what we wanted to achieve and what was most important is to have the top of the leaderboards more stable.
Yes.
So that was pretty much what we wanted to achieve. But in order to do this, we saw, and a lot of you have been telling us, that it's pretty much impossible or very hard to go up to rank 21 by the end of the season.
Yes.
So we wanted to have this sense of progression, but we wanted it to be more fair.
Yes. So we wanted basically when you're starting, when you're still low rank, you're starting to progress a little bit faster, and that way it feels like you're approaching closer to that place, right? But then when you get to the higher ranks, then things are a little more stable, they're a little more difficult to move, and you need to have a good win rate to be able to actually reach those higher levels.
And it was like the top end of the game, but the top end of the game for us was a little bit different than the player perception of what the top is. So we had to kind of adjust to it a little bit. Also, what's something new that we introduced is if you're below 1,000 ranking points, you will no longer lose points. So you won't be, when you're coming into the game fresh and you're starting to play, you won't be felt that you're in a disadvantage, that you're losing points. It will be more fair towards you.
Yeah. And this is really good because it allows people who are just starting out to be able to actually reach the higher rewards. It makes it a lot more accessible to reach. Maybe not the rank 21 ones, but the mid to quite high level, actually decent level rewards. You are able, if you commit yourself to the game, then you are also able to achieve them. As an inexperienced player, right?
Yeah, and it's also something that we want to make more fair. Like I went to a lot of streams and watched good players like GWENT, for example, play, and I saw that the amount of points that you get is not as big as you really wanted. And what we want is we want more players to reach rank 21 by the end of the season, and that's why we will have these changes coming out with the hotfix as well. Yeah. So thank you for this feedback. We've done everything possible to make it a little bit better. If you're also a pro player, we might have something in mind also for the future beyond this, but we'll share more details.
We'll have to talk about that later. Right now, in this stream at least, we'll reveal more about that.
Yeah, I recently was able to be on the Gentleman talk show, and what they said is would be nice if we kind of probably talked a little bit more about why we're changing some things. So maybe you could start with an overall overview of what we want to achieve with this hotfix.
Okay, sure. I'm talking about especially about this hotfix, right? I mean, for us in this patch, we're looking at mostly addressing things that were frustrating to play against, or oppressive things that players have found to not be fun to play against and not be very nice things to play with. So this is something, or against, because generally an oppressive play for your opponent is generally quite fun for you, right?
It's fine while you're doing it, but if someone else is doing it, it's not fine.
Yeah, but keeping the fun is very important for us. Keeping things engaging. Again, as we've talked about in previous streams, accessibility for new players. These are all very, very important things, and there are a few things that we are addressing, which were big sort of offenders in this sort of issue here. And most of this is related to things like carryover, right, which is really powerful currently, and we needed to address, and weather, which is also feeling very oppressive, especially for newer players. There was also a bit of a mismatch here when you talked about before, like for maybe for higher end players, weather was something that they could
they know how to play around it, let's say.
More play around it. But for newer players, they usually didn't feel like they had the tools and to be able to deal with this. Apart from that, some of these things made you have to take specific cards into your deck. And this is something that we really want to avoid, that you feel forced to have to take a specific card into your deck, because this limits your deck building possibilities, right? If you have to take 2 or 3 clear skies into your deck always, if you have to take the Witchers because of deck thinning always, if you have to take Arzo's Thunder for removal always, you've already taken up half your deck, and then you don't have much more possibility to do more creative stuff,
we don't want this, that you auto-include cards just because they're really good and they might not work with your archetype, but you'll just have them because you know that they can be your win condition in the 3rd round, for example.
Yes, but not only that, but also because of oppressive mechanics that are in the game that force you to take cards that you don't want to play with your type of deck, but you have to take them because otherwise you're going to lose. Right?
And also changes to some of the gold cards, but we'll get to that.
Gold cards. I mean, we won't talk about that much, but we're today at least. But we're thinking a lot about gold cards and how this is also related to how gold cards can become quite big, and also they cannot be interacted with. So this can be quite oppressive as well. This is related to that. So we're also thinking a lot about how gold cards should or should not be interactive, and the interactivity of the game in general.
Exactly. If you guys stay longer till the end, we also will show some sneak peeks, so I would wait for that for sure.
Of new upcoming stuff.
New stuff. Questions, where is Luigi? Luigi was actually sick for some time, and he's finally back in the studio. It's actually good to see him back. Still kind of a little bit recovering, but so all the love is sent out to him. I think he's getting better now. He's
getting nice and moisturized with Dwarven Balm.
Dwarven Balm. I like how you put that. So nice. So let's maybe start off with the things that were fixed. So the problems that we had within the game. So this won't cover things that are in the game, but I'll cover them separately. So first, it's kind of a new addition that we added to the game. So we removed the black background when you do the mulligan and when your opponents are drawing cards. So this was something that was asked a lot by players, so we decided, why not? We should do it. It'll make everything look better. So we got rid of the
this was basically an empty screen, which just told you that the opponent's mulligan.
The opponents are drawing cards.
And you can't do anything. There's nothing to click. It's an idle screen, which was...
Also, there was a problem that you probably noticed, that when you were mulliganing your last card, it was impossible to see what you would draw as the last card, because it will instantly go into the game. And now we changed it that you actually can see what you're drawing as the last card, which is really good. And I like how everybody's like, finally, good change.
Again, it's a quality of life fix, which really makes things a little bit easier.
Someone wrote, we did it, Reddit, we did it.
Yes, you did.
Also, Stuff like with the Bloody Baron, he would be moved to the top of the deck at the start of the round instead of the end of the round. This was a small thing, but it was a bug, of course. But we'll probably talk about Bloody Baron a little bit later when we talk about Northern Realms. We also fixed if you did the challenges and you were faced against Henselt and Dagon, you would see that he or the monster guy had had 3 copies of cards. Had more than 3 copies of each card in the challenges. So yeah, we had to change that a little bit, so it's more fair towards the players. And also the things that were a problem for PS4 users. I know that after last update, when you went into the game would get stuck on inventory loaded. Nothing would happen. There was only one workaround where you had to delete some of the files in order for it to work. And now we've deployed a hotfix for it, and it should be fine. So when this hotfix launches, it should be working perfectly. Yeah. Is there anything I missed? Yes. This is something that a lot of people were talking about. Also for console players is when you're playing disloyal agile units, you could only play them on the melee row, and this was, for example, a problem with Letho or with the Succubus. And we went in and got rid of this. Got rid of this. Now you can place it wherever you want. How it's supposed to kind of work. Also, when we go through the changes, we won't mention all of them, but we've changed some units to be more agile, so you can now kind of place them.
This is overall a thing that we're looking at as well. Yeah, and it's something that
kind of like moving in further after we launch public beta. We're kind of adding agility to more cards,
because it allows more play, more design space, more play space, and these are all positive changes in our mind.
So those are the big stuff when it comes to changing. Of course, we're constantly working on changes to the tooltips and the descriptions, so they're more and more clear.
Of course.
So this is something that's there, plus some smaller fixes to units and that we're not working properly, and also some changes to things triggering when they are supposed to, instead of the triggers happening kind of in different ways that they weren't supposed to, not as designed, let's say. So this is something that we kind of looked into. Yeah. And I think we should start going into the cards, going one by one.
Sure. Should we grab the bull by its horns and go with...
Whoa. Drink some water.
I'll have a sip as well, yeah.
Yeah, so you get to see the card collection. Not much going on here.
So Alzo's Thunder is now... I'm just kidding.
Nothing here.
Nothing here. Nothing to see here. Move along. But...
Frost.
Biting Frost. The weathers have, of course... changed up a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, the concept is still there, but basically here what we have is, I always forget to do this. No, I kind of like. No, I don't like this diagram anymore. But basically, our concept for weather and what we want to do with them now is to have this sort of attrition thing going on with the opponent's side, like something that you can play on the opponent's side, and it will slowly chip off points from the opposing side to kind of use it for your advantage in rounds where you know you're not going to have enough power and something like this. But it's not something that forces the opponent to clear weather, right? Weather should be, and we're trying to make it so that you can play it, and you can choose whether you want to clear it or not, or whether you want to work around it, maybe keep playing through. Maybe it's better for you to actually this round keep playing through it, so you keep your clear weathers for later, and stuff like this. We want it to actually be possible to be able to do this.
Yeah, and it's easier for you to play around it, right? Because it goes for the lowest units on the row, and it damages them by one of the lowest units.
We haven't actually said what it does. Maybe I should have said. I was getting to it.
David's like, I'll tell you the whole story first.
Let's start from the beginning.
Yeah, and then we'll end with the description. Why not?
Well,
it's fine.
Well, the concept is there, right? This encourages more clever play, encourages more creativity. And these are all things that we always more fun. These are always things that and if you happen to not have clear weather, you shouldn't be you shouldn't feel
big disadvantage.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel like you're in big disadvantage, or that you okay, might as well forfeit, right? This is not a good feeling that we want in the game, and it's oppressive.
Like we said before, like weather is something that we like because it's unique in the game.
Yes.
And it's something that we don't want to get rid of in any way. But what we want is to have weather not to be so auto-include, or like have archetypes that are only based around weather, because that's not what we intended. But in some way, when we went and we deployed all the changes to weather, we didn't want it to be like super swingy, and now it was just, instead of being swingy, it was kind of pushing, and it was pushing your opponent to kind of get rid of it, and it was just a little bit too crazy. So we had to kind of find the middle ground, let's say, for it.
I mean, balancing a card game like this, and at least the approach we take with Gwent, is a very sort of iterative process, right? As cards around weather change, so will the weather change with the cards around it, right? And as time goes by, we will always revise these core mechanics, and we'll always do the changes that are required for the game to continue.
Exactly.
This is what we do, right? This is what we've been doing. Slow changes that allow the game to grow.
Yeah.
And this is another one of those.
Yeah.
So, Frost. Every turn, at the start of your turn, damage one of the lowest units in the row by 2. So basically, the lowest unit on the row will be damaged by 2. Only one unit with Frost, right? Let's go straight to Fog. This is the highest unit on the row, be damaged by 2, right?
Yeah.
So it's like Frost, but it's the highest unit instead.
Yeah.
Pretty simple to understand and how it works. Rain works a little bit differently. Rain is going also for the lowest units on the row.
But damage up to 5 of the lowest units on the row by 1.
Yes, so it's dealing less damage, but to possibly more units if they happen to be on the same ceiling, if they happen to be on the same strength. Right? This does not mean that the 5 lowest, like if there are 1, 2, and 3 and damages all of them, they need to be all on the same ceiling, of course.
Exactly. Okay,
so that's
maybe we should
the new weather. We can go to the silver ones.
Yeah, let's cover all the weather.
Let's go to Aeromancy. Should we start with Aeromancy?
There it is. No. Up, up, up.
Did I miss it?
Up, up, up. There you go.
Okay, so Aeromancy used to allow you to play weather from your graveyard. This is now not possible.
So deck or graveyard,
deck,
yes, now it's only deck.
Now it's only deck, yes.
So bronze or silver weather, you can go fetch it, take it out, play it, and and you shuffle the others back into your deck.
Exactly. So this lets you choose which one you want. You can play bronze or silver ones. That's how Aeromancy works.
Yeah. Talking about silver weathers, Skellige Storm.
Skellige Storm, yeah.
A storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
There we go.
There we go.
So this one works the same way, but the damage has been reduced slightly. Yeah.
It used to be 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Now it's 2, 2, 1.
It's a small change, only 1 point difference, but this is to standardize and make them all in line.
It can seem like 1 point, but it's 1 point that can change a lot.
That's the point.
That's the point of the point.
Little changes.
Small step.
Small steps, baby steps to perfection. Well,
or too small, yeah. Yeah, Stamina Forts. We should go back up, all the way up.
Yes, Stamina.
All the way up.
There we go.
Tremors. So we used to work on 8 random enemies and would damage them by 2, and now it only works on 6.
But we have now Overdose, which is working similar to this.
Oh, nice.
Let's look at that one.
Down, down, down.
It's also red. There we go. So this one is boosting up to 6 random allies by 2. So you want to get a good number of bronze units on the board, you play it, and that could be pretty strong.
Yeah. It's a nice swing. And probably what we want to achieve with this is to have Overdose being played a little bit more. Because it's really, really good and it hasn't seen much play before. So we decided, okay, let's change it a little bit and let's actually have a card that can, let's say, counter the Tremors in some way. So this was the idea behind it.
So the Tremors is a great card, and so is Overdose. I personally actually like Overdose a lot. I've been playing it a lot in our internal tests. It's a really, really useful card.
I like how it's putting that frost on the window. Like, looks so nice.
Yeah, I never noticed that actually.
No.
Oh, look at those little snowflakes.
Yeah, and the candle is off. That's so nice.
Little details.
Little details. All right, moving on. Blood Curdling Roar. Yeah, a card that is been used to get a lot of points on the board.
Yeah,
it was
it's been used
in monsters. It's been used in Skellige a lot.
It's a great card, but we didn't actually change Blood Curdling Roar itself. We changed the bear a little bit. Basically, he was being played more as a card in the graveyard that you can then bring out, resurrect, or eat with,
or consume.
Or consume. So now the bear is doomed, and doomed. So he won't actually go to your graveyard, but he's still now an 11-point card, right? Yeah. So a card that you don't want to use anymore. You've used up its ability. You can't resurrect it. You destroy it.
It can actually seem like I see a lot of people saying like a -1. It is only -1, but what you should be focusing on the most is that it's doomed. So you won't be able to take the bear, resurrect it, and then resurrect it again with Priestess of Freya.
I believe this is the biggest change. The -1 is a relatively small change, but again, approaching the core balance of the game, right? This is what we're doing. And small changes like these do help.
Yeah.
Should we go for this or?
We should probably talk about Alzur's Double Cross.
Yes, Alzur's Double Cross and Decoy.
Marching Orders and Decoy.
Yes, all of these three remain mostly the same. They still have their own abilities and they still do that, but they boost instead of strengthen.
Yeah. So they boost you instead of strengthening them. So it gives them the green value instead of their base strength.
Exactly.
Which was the normal white value.
Again, I'm showing the non-premium version.
Yeah.
I really like that effect of the parallax. The grass seems like it's actually coming out of the cards when you view it like this. It's really cool.
Yeah. Cool. Nice. Okay, let's move on. We'll probably move on to the units, I think.
Yeah,
and we'll start, because, we said Alzur's Double Cross, Decoy, and Marching Orders.
Yes, I think it's good to go...
to neutral, it'd be easier for you to filter out. We should probably start with Olgierd.
Yeah, that's who I'm going for.
There he is.
There he is.
So, go to Premium.
Go to Premium. Go to Premium. Yeah. So we've changed these guys a little bit. As I said previously, carryover was a bit of a problem for us. There was just way too much, and it's a very, very strong ability. You know, there is no refresh. There's no start over in the round, and this is something that is very, very powerful. Yeah. So Olgierd and Morgvarg both have had a small buff in terms of strength. Yeah. Right. But instead, when they're killed, they are now instead halved instead of reducing damage.
So when it's destroyed, you weaken it by half, rounding up. Other sound of rounds 2 and 3, resurrect this unit if it's in the graveyard. So this is something that stayed the same as it was, but the difference is now if you have an Olgierd, which you're constantly buffing and changing his value, when he comes back, he's still a big power play. We didn't want that. We didn't want like super big power plays, and we decided to change Olgierd because most of the time he was auto-include. Just because he could be a big body that you can just play, and he'll always come back, so you always have some points on the board. Yeah,
of course, especially in decks like in Skellige decks where you had tools like Wild Boar of the Sea, right? Who could be buffing this guy constantly over and over, and then you end up with an 18 Olgierd who comes back as a 16 Olgierd, which is still a very, very strong card, right? So this way, the bigger the unit, of course, the bigger the hit he's going to take. So if you have a smaller Olgierd, he's not going to take such a big hit, right? But this way, it's much more balanced and much more...
and a lot of players used Olgierd as an alternative way if, for example, something happened to Morgvarg and they couldn't use them again, so they would have Olgierd as a backup plan, and then you could either have Wild Boar of the Sea or the Drakkar that's kind of hitting and buffing and going crazy. So we didn't want this to be used as frequently as it was, so yeah.
There we go. That's Olgierd, and we'll show Morgvarg later. He also has been buffed in terms of strength.
So what golds?
What golds do we have?
Villain Trettenmirth.
Villain Trettenmirth.
So change here.
So he's stronger, much stronger.
Yeah.
He's
an
now
8 instead of a 4.
But
his ability
is now triggering only once. So he will only scorch once, not twice. Before he used to destroy all of the highest units twice in a row. Now he's only doing it once. But he's a much stronger gold drop there.
Yeah. He's a bigger power play, but the change to him, most of it is that his ability only works once now instead of twice. Yep. Yeah. I see Mega Mogwai and chat like, what?
He was. I mean, this is one of those cards that we were talking about that are super oppressive for new players, right? And I mean, for more advanced players, it was something that they could possibly play against if they know how to. Yeah. But you could very easily trick new players with something like this, which is.
And looking at statistic, it's a card that has been used like so many times by so many players that it was getting to like being like you could see it everywhere. So our idea was to kind of change a little bit and see how it will pretty much work now. And of course, we're open to feedback on.
Of
on
course,
the card.
I mean,
we'll see a lot of.
We've been testing it ourselves, of course, but of course, as all of us know, we are very receptive to feedback, and we're always listening.
Yeah. Villain. So Avalok. So Avalok, as you see, is an 8 now instead of a 10. And that's pretty much changed to him. You also will show a couple of these power changes to the cards. But yeah.
Did we miss Renew from the non-unit cards?
Oh yeah, we missed Renew. I don't know why. Because it was probably later. I don't know. We kind of jumped over it.
Yep.
So Renew a card that in public beta got a lot of love. It's been played by a lot of, especially the super good players that are at the top end of the ladder are playing it constantly. So we changed it a little bit. What we changed is that only takes units now from your graveyard. So it doesn't take units from your opponent's graveyard. Because sometimes you would get into a situation where it's pretty much who can play the first Renew and take the best gold card.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much that.
It was pretty much that. Now you're still resurrecting one of your own gold cards, and this is a very, very good ability. And there are a lot of decks that are quite high up in the ranks that actually use Renew the way we intended to be used, and that is to reuse one of your cards, such as resurrecting. There are monsters decks, for instance, that resurrect Twist Butterfly,
or Caranthir,
or Igni, for instance. You can also resurrect Igni. So there's lots of good things you can do with Renew, and it's still, in my opinion, an incredible card.
Yeah. Did admire the art for a little bit.
Beautiful.
All right, moving down to Regis. Maybe we should stop by Roach, because Roach is also on the list, and Johnny, and their silvers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roach
will now be summoned before gold cards' abilities are resolved. So, like it used to be back in the day. I know we changed it last time, but now we kind of went back to this based on feedback and based on testing. It came out that this is actually how it's supposed to work, and it's a little bit better. So we decided to go back.
Yeah. Johnny is also a very good change. So. This one used to, if you, let's say you discard a gold card and then the opponent doesn't have any gold cards in the deck, then you lose that gold card, right? Now, when you choose the gold card, it will now not trigger if the opponent happens to not have a card that will do that. So you don't lose your card.
So we will not activate if the corresponding card color in your opponent's deck is not there. So pretty much you'll just play a 7 and that's it.
Yes. In that case, yes.
And you won't be losing anything. And you also won't be gaining anything. But it makes it more fair.
That's the risk of a card like this, right?
Yeah. Johnny and Roach. Okay. Regis Higher Vampire.
There he is.
So, as you probably see, everything looks pretty much the same, except now when he consumes, he boosts himself by the base power of the consumed unit. So the base power, not the power that it was raised to.
Yeah,
like
those protectors.
Yeah, Doblatana protectors or the pirates. Pretty much, whenever you played Regis, Higher Vampire, you would get so many points out of it. It was a little bit too crazy.
Because he's a 6 base strength himself, and as we said, something that we were looking for, those gold cards, those gold drops of, 26 points right on the board, right? And you can't do anything about it. And this is not something that is usually. This feels very oppressive to be played against, and that is why. And it's the same. Spotters, pirates, and like you said, the Doblatana protectors, they would get hit like very hard by this card. Yes,
and it was giving your opponent a lot of power instantly with one play.
For your work, right? For the work you've done.
For the work you've done, and whatever you were kind of building, if you were revealing a lot, if you were discarding a lot, if you were playing a lot of spells, you'll get actually punished once Regis was played at the right time. And I know that like players specifically were waiting for the right time when they were playing against, for example, Speletel, just to have them out.
When usually the only few cards left in the deck is usually just the protectors, and you're bound to draw it, right? I mean, there are other cards which have a similar effect to this, like in terms of like buffing up an X-Men, and then you play, for instance. Oh my God, I blanked.
You blanked.
Becker's Twisted Mirror.
Oh, yeah.
That's my favorite card, and I couldn't remember the name. You play Becker's Twisted Mirror, and you have you also take like a buffed up X-Men on the board, right? But you're working to set that up a lot more than you're doing with him.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that. Boom. I think that's it for neutrals.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, we should move on to Northern Realms.
Okay.
I'll start with, I know there was this funny video on YouTube that I really appreciate of me talking with, and you talking with Radovid.
Oh yeah.
It was me talking with David, but actually there was no David, there was Radovid.
Yeah.
So I decided I talked with the guys, I'm like, come on, he doesn't like me, let's do at least something to please Radovid. So we just made him into a 5 instead of a 4.
at least that maybe that will please him. Right? It's more of a political change, but
yeah, he'll probably still say that I had men killed for less. So he won't be happy about that. But I tried.
Yeah, you did your best, I guess, right?
Yeah. We should, like, at the end, we'll cover some of the changes, because most of the changes are us changing the units by 1 point. We don't want to go over all of them. You'll be able to see this in the in-game patch notes or on playgwent.com in the news section. But we'll cover more of the abilities, let's say, that changed a little bit. So Shani, as you see, we changed her power, but also the armor, the amount of armor she's giving is a 4 instead of a 3. So it might be a subtle change, but it's
a two strength in total, right? 1 in strength and 1 in armor. So
yeah.
And armor will actually be a little more useful, we'll see now with some other changes that we did.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's Shani. Priscilla? There we go. You had her.
I had her. There we go.
Yeah.
So basically we gave her a counter, right?
Yeah.
She has a counter of 4, and we capped her ability so that it can trigger 4 times at most, right?
Yeah.
Unless you somehow bring her back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you do play Renew and you bring her back, she'll have another 4.
Exactly.
Of course.
The counter will reset if Renew her.
Exactly. If you renew her.
Yeah. Can we siege support? Sounds
sure.
Like.
Yeah,
let's go back up again.
Could we siege support? There he was.
Yeah, card played a lot in Northern Realms.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's one of the bases of the machine deck, right?
Yeah. And what we wanted is, if it's a machine, it will get a bigger boost now. So pretty much will now boost by 2 and add 1 armor to allies with the machine tag. Units without the tag will be boosted by 1 and won't get armor.
Yes, they won't get armor. They still get a small boost, but it's mostly working much better with the machines.
And while we're talking about armor, what's important is that trebuchets, ballistas,
reinforced ballistas,
where they will not ignore armor when damaging now.
Yes.
Which is quite important.
Which is quite important. This is something that is related also to both the play space and the design space. And these are very important things that we talk about often, I know, but they are important parts of why we do some changes, right? The fact is this allows us to do a lot more with armor and opens up things we can do, right? Because it won't feel like, oh, okay, armor. It can just be penetrated through very easily.
Yeah.
So now armor is more... We've just made the armor more sturdy. We've upgraded from leather scraps.
We had a better armor smith here working on it. So so no more ignoring armor. Armor is there and is there to shield you.
In most cases.
Yeah. So maybe now Bloody Baron. We should go back to the gold.
Sure.
We'll be kind of jumping back
and forth. Yeah. Bloody Baron. There he is.
Yeah.
Right.
So subtle changes, but quite important. So he will be boosted even when your and your enemy's units are destroyed at the same time. This was something that didn't happen.
Yes.
But in the beginning, I kind of started talking about 2 additional changes, and I'll actually go back to them. We fixed an issue in Bloody Baron when he was being boosted by units moved to the graveyard. Fixed an issue with Bloody Baron being boosted by units moved to the graveyard at the end of the round.
Yes.
I kind of got lost there. So yeah, that's one thing, and kind of fixed the issue where he was moved to the top of the deck at the start of the round instead of the end of the round.
Yes, yes, exactly that.
So I made it through.
These are more tweaks than
It kind of tweaks how he's working.
Tweaks how he's working,
So
make him work
more,
the way we want him to work.
Exactly. And mostly the rest is just also Dandelion. Dandelion.
Dandelion.
Down, all the way down. Boom, 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 boom.
Did I go too far?
Down. Still, he's there.
There we go.
At the end, and move to premium. Dirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I know you like doing that back and forth. So with Dandelion, he will now, it's a subtle change, but he will shuffle your deck.
Yes.
So after boosting up to 3 bronze or silver units in your deck by 3, he then shuffles everything back.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, this can actually be quite useful if you have something like, I don't know, if the opponent's played Xarthisius or something against you, and he's put the cards you want in and like some good bronze cards in the bottom, you can at least reshuffle them and boost them at the same time. So you can actually make use of this because you know what you're going to be shuffling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then it's overall changes to units. So like Dunbanner Heavy Cavalry's power from 3 to 4. And it's mostly all by 1. Redanian Elite 5 to 6. Redanian Elite's armor also changed from a 3
Field
to a 4.
Medic as well.
Field Medic from a 3 to a 4. Trebuchet's power changed from 5 to a 6. Ballista from a 5 to a 6 also. And Trebuchet from a 2 to a 3. Siege Tower from a 2 to a 3, and Stennis is from a 5 to a 7. So we're kind of looking into Northern Realms and changing one by one the power to have the cards be more powerful when they're played.
So there are a number of core cards that have been buffed in Northern Realms, mostly from the strength perspective. Prince Stennis being one of them.
Exactly. All right.
Should we move on to monsters?
Monsters,
Monsters it is.
Changes to monsters. Harpy first.
Well, it's here, so let's do it.
Yeah. So Solana Harpy, power change from a 4 to a 3. Harpy eggs without a change.
Yes.
Yeah,
Harpy
we also changed the power of the Foglets from a 6 to a 7, and the Fire Elemental Ifrit, as he's called in the game, to a 6 to a 7.
Not the normal Foglets.
No, the ancient ones.
Yes. The normal Foglets are not a 7. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be too crazy.
That would be insane.
Just play 7. Yeah. All right, moving on.
We go to...
I think mostly it will be golds for now.
We should start with Carantir, I guess.
Carantir, will be a good start. Yeah, so Carantir, a card that we've seen being played like everywhere. I've seen consume decks that play him. He was pretty much the win condition for the card that was renewed most of the time, for sure.
The plunge. the massive plunge into the frost.
Exactly. So what we did to him is we changed his power a little bit, so he's a 7 instead of a 5. That's one thing, but the most important change is that he will move 3 enemies instead of 5, which is which totally changes a little. Well, not totally.
Not totally. I mean, the ability is still there, right? But it's a little more controlled.
Yeah.
This also felt like a super oppressive play because, I mean, in most situations, moving 5 units into the row and plunging into the frost, that meant usually more than half of your units that you're currently playing. Yeah. Plus
how frost was working before, it was just too much. It was too much. It was too crazy. So it needed a change. This is what happened.
This is what happened.
This is what happens when you're too powerful.
Yeah, he's like, hold the power. Yeah, so succubus?
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 Succubus? I don't know.
Succubus, no?
Succubus? I don't know.
Succubus.
I always mix it up.
Okay, succubus.
In Polish, it's easier because it's just sukub, and it's just like you cut it there. And it's
Sukub?
here. Sukub, yeah. It's a lot easier. Yeah. So a lot of you were like talking to me, and I saw Reddit posts and I saw Discord posts, and I know you guys tested a lot. And there was one thing that it says that after 2 turns, at the end of the turn, it's supposed to move the highest unit, and sometimes it was you didn't have enough time to counter the card.
Yes.
So now you will have this, and it will the ability will actually, when it counts down, it will be at the end of the turn, moving the highest unit.
Yep. So basically, the concept is that the victim will get the last word.
Yeah.
Right.
The victim gets the last word.
Yes. The
I like how you
victim.
put that. That's actually nice. Yeah.
But also with this, it's got a slight buff because it's now not as strong, and you're playing this on
Yeah.
the opposing side,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
now a 5 from a 6, right?
Yeah.
So it's a little easier to play in
Yeah.
terms of strength. You're not giving the opponent so much strength, and you're going to feel like if it doesn't work out, it's it's not that much strength that you're giving the opponent. But at least the opponent doesn't always feel like there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah. There's more room for interaction
Yes,
with countering this card.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And more room for interaction is something that we're looking to make more,
Yeah,
like
to
across the
actually have
board.
it.
It's how we want it to be, right?
Yeah. All right, Nithril.
Nithril is up here.
Yeah.
Did I
Down,
just
down,
skip
down,
him?
down.
Yes, I did.
You've been singing all day. Yeah, so Nithril is a 7, so more points to him. He lost his armor, that's one change. But also the damage that he does now is increased to 3 instead of 2. So yeah,
Yes.
that kind of sums it up.
Yep. That's basically it. I mean, it's just a change to put him in line with the new Frost, right?
But still, if you want to get rid of him, it's just 1 Alzur's Thunder.
Yes.
1. Yeah.
Yes. He's way within the Alzur's range.
Yeah, and if you think about how Frost works now, it works totally different. So yeah, because it's only if I remember correctly, it's only going for the weakest unit.
Yes. It's 5 weakest units.
Yeah, deal 2
Up to
damage to the
5.
units with
wait.
the lowest power on the row, max 1 target.
Yes.
So instead of 2, it will do 3 damage. So this is fair, right?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, simple as that.
Simple as that.
And I think the last thing that we want to mention here is the change to the Wild Hound's power, but it's only from a 5 to a 4, and that's it.
We can look at it if we want to.
Yeah, he's up there somewhere. Oh, there he is. I see the 4. Down.
There he is.
Yep, there he is. He's happy to see us. All right.
All right.
Scoia'tael, let's go.
Scoia'tael.
My favorite.
Scoia'tael.
Okay, now my favorite change. Let's go to the mercenary. Let's start. No,
Yes.
up.
Yes. The Merc. There he is.
There she is. The mercenary. 2 loyal.
Yes. Elven Mercenary is now loyal again.
Yes. Loyal again.
Loyal again.
Yeah.
This is related to the fact, players really like, and we really like, to be honest, really good, easy to pull off combos, and you need a few of these in the game, right? And Elven Mercenary was a classic one that worked and people enjoyed playing.
Yeah.
And this will make it a lot easier to go back to the classic
yeah.
Elven Mercenary into Rally, into Elven Mercenary into Rally.
Yeah. That's the idea, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that works with Scoia'tael. It kind of partly defined the faction for a large part of our betas, and it's something. It's a good combo that works, and we're bringing it back.
Yeah, all of you have been writing to me that Scoia'tael needs to come back. There you go. That's a start. That's a start for it. And actually, I'm really happy. When I first saw you guys thinking about this, I was just like, yes. I won't say anything aloud. I would be just like, I want to encourage this, but I'll be like,
I won't tell.
Silent nod.
Yeah, I saw you nodding at us from a distance. That nod gif you sent me.
Yeah, it's like this is good. This is good. This is the way we should be going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The Sappers.
Yeah. Sapper.
There we go.
Yeah. So here is just change from a 7 to an 8.
Yep.
So adding more power to the Sappers.
Yep. Dwarven Merc.
Dwarven Merc is from a 5 to a 6.
From a 5 to a 6.
Simple
Also.
as that.
I really like this card actually.
It's very flexible.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like movements quite well.
Yeah, I really like movements quite well. And this is a small buff to there.
Yeah.
Synthesis.
All the way down. Just yeah, synthesis.
It's now a 9.
It's a 9.
Yeah. This is a more synergy with the buffs a little bit the synergy between the dwarves and elves, right?
Well, dwarves and elves.
Dwarves and elves.
Yeah. Coming back to The Witcher 2, where Saskia and synthesis played a quite important role.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I lost track.
I think Fireball Trap is something we can talk about.
We should go up to the. There we go.
There we go. Trapper.
Yeah.
So we didn't change the Trapper. We changed the Fireball Trap, and this is related to penetration of armor.
Yeah.
Again, it will no longer ignore the armor.
Yeah.
So the same as all the other siege engines that we showed before. This is to make armor, just more armory.
Yeah, I changed it from a 3 to a 2 when it comes to value of the damage the Fireball Trap does by itself.
Yes. And it's doomed now.
And it's doomed now, yeah. Because like it was a card that it was just played all the time, just to have, because it would chip a lot of power away from your opponent. And it was just.
But the Trapper is buffed now as well.
Yeah.
It's buffed by 1.
Yeah. I like her premium a lot.
Yeah. We talked about those bombs the other time in the stream, right?
Yeah. I wonder if they blow up one day. Yeah.
That's what we said. Yeah.
Blow up.
I wonder if they blow up. And we just is there an Easter egg? I don't know.
Yeah. There we go.
And finally,
Ithleen. So Ithleen, a card, that's still seen a lot of play. So we decided to, because she can pull like the cards that you need to kind of win the game.
Yeah,
and you should be kind of giving your opponent more power for it. So we decided to change it from a 4 to a 5.
It's a small
change,
but I think it's definitely in line. Ithleen.
Yeah, you need to take into account how much sometimes 1 point matters. Sometimes you can win a game by 1 point. So
yes,
it might seem like not a lot, but it actually is quite a lot.
Yeah. But still, super good card. I really like this card.
Yeah.
All right, Nilfgaard.
Nilfgaard.
I guess we'll skip Skellige. We'll talk about the bear buffs later, but
exactly. Emir?
Emir, yeah. Oh, Emir.
Yeah, Emir, a card that I've talked about. I know Retis has talked about it a lot. He was on the GWENT stream like 2 weeks ago. He was talking about it, that he's a great card. I mean, a card that has great ability.
I really like it. I think he's my favorite leader in Nilfgaard, actually.
Except that he was sometimes not used because he was only like 4 power. So we decided to give him more power and actually make him more usable. Because he was a leader that saw, like, when I was talking to Retis, I think he mentioned Emir and Harold the Cripple. So those are 2 cards which don't see a fair amount of play as we want to see them in the game. So we decided to, why not work on Emir. He's actually this super good card. I remember we were talking before the stream that, he's just really, really good, and the ability is super crazy, but it hasn't been used a lot.
Yeah, I don't know, and when you carry him, then it can get really, really crazy. But I mean, I like to play with Emir a lot, but I guess use Emir, he's good.
Talking about leaders.
Yeah?
Calvate.
Juan.
So 2 changes here. One thing is he won't be able to draw gold cards.
Yes.
But we kind of went back to the drawing board when it comes to Imperial Golems.
Yes.
So they will be now played from the deck before like they used to.
Yes.
But you won't get into a situation like it is right now, that when you play him, you might just draw three golems and have nothing to do with it, or 2 golems and something you don't really want to play. So he should be more fair now. What we removed him drawing gold cards.
So you play him, the golems come out, and then you get to choose, right? And this is quite important. I mean, this is something that we removed before, but now we're going back to it because...
Yeah, and it says specifically look at the top 3 bronze or silver cards in your deck. Play one, the others remain on top. So yeah, simple as that.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Stefan Skellen.
Or just Stefan Skellen.
Yeah. Or that.
Or that. Where is he?
Where is our friend Stefan? He should be a 9. A 10, sorry. There he is. Go to the premium.
Yeah. Yeah, so change from a 9 to a 10. Yeah. We wanted him to see more play.
Yeah.
Blah. It's hard to talk today. I don't know why.
Because you're not singing enough. You should sing more often.
Yeah, if I started singing, that would be bad. Yeah, I don't think the world is ready for that. Yeah.
So should we go
all the way back to spotters?
Maybe? Oh, there we are.
Yeah, spotters saw a little bit more love. I know Garuna will be happy because he plays reveal. So spotters and the alchemists, which are played in the reveal deck, they got 1 point up, let's say. So 1 up.
Alchemist is a 7 now?
It's an 8.
It's an 8 now?
From
It was a 7,
yeah. From a 7 to an 8. Yeah.
There we go.
Same for Cynthia. Cynthia is a 5 instead of a 4.
There we go.
There she is. Yeah. Woo! Yeah.
And Sarit also a similar buff. There we go.
Yeah. Started up to a 9 from a 7.
Yeah.
So 2 points up.
Super good card
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Crazy premium.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can play that over. I like doing that a little bit too much.
Yeah. I mean, here you're kind of like, stopping yourself because normally when you like show me cards and stuff, it's like back and forth, and I'm just like,
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So Leo Boneheart, something that when we talk about most of the cards that we mentioned, like Regis Higher Vampire, we want units like this be targeting the unit's base power and always the base power. So that's pretty much the change.
This matches Regis, as you said.
Go for base power.
Go for base.
Go for base. Yeah.
Wait for the drop.
So what?
Is it time for?
I know we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. You know, they were talking about.
What? They were talking about some card?
I saw they were talking about some card in the comments about making it a 7 or something.
Yeah. We thought it was actually a good idea.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Oh, there he is.
Look at that, it's a 7.
Yeah.
Oh. Was it that? Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, what's that?
Which 7 was it? No, it's not this one.
No, it's not this one. Oh, okay.
No. I don't know.
I didn't do that on purpose.
No, it's the Warcry guy, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, it's the Warcry. Let's talk about the Warcry.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, we removed the effort from him.
Yeah.
The Warcry. He doesn't.
Yeah. No more effort.
Yeah, no more effort.
That's an important change. Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
Oh, what's this? Maybe we should do this. I forgot to do
this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, he was never a problem.
No.
Was he? I mean, he needed more power.
Yeah, he needed more power. Definitely, he was not powerful enough.
Yeah.
But the way it triggers is a little different.
In all seriousness, before I already, I like how chat is like, what? Wall of text. Yeah, we changed the bear to a 7, but there's a lot of things that are happening kind of around it. Also, let's not forget there was some small problems or big problems, let's say, with the bear. When he was locked, he would still hit.
Yeah.
So
if you play a card that
Yeah.
was going to lock him,
Yeah.
it would hit
Yeah.
that card.
Yeah, exactly. Or where armor was applied, he would just hit, and there was no way to counter that. He was even hitting from the graveyard from time to time. He was so savage, let's say.
He's getting a bit too savage.
Yeah. So so that's one of the things, and also the most important change is he won't be hitting spawned units.
Yes.
So we must remember that.
So only cards played from the hand.
Yeah.
So you play a card that spawns a number of units, let's say a Solana Harpy, for instance, right? He's not going to kill the eggs, he will only hit the Solana Harpy.
Yeah, so pretty much the idea with playing Salon Harpy is you play it because you want the eggs on the board, because you want carryover for the next round.
Yep.
And what we did is pretty much, cancel this, so he doesn't like cancel your game plan. So yeah, he doesn't work on spawn units. So yeah, I think it's a subtle change, but I think it's important. And I saw that you guys, when you were testing it, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
and
it
now
brings him significantly more in line with what a bronze card should be.
He's a little bit less savage now. Yeah. When we talk about the bear, we have to talk about the shield maidens.
Of course. Oh yes, we do.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because like we mentioned most of the time, I know everybody was crazy about the savage bear, but we have to remember that the shield maidens are they were a bigger problem. And what we did is we removed the veteran tag from them. And it might seem as something small, but you won't be playing round 3 a unit that has 5 strength. You'll be just playing a 3 all the time. Of course, the ability stays the same, so it still works with the bear, but it won't be doing, it won't be a 5. So because I've seen
15 strength at the end of the round is
plus the damage by 2 for each one of them is just
it
was just crazy. It's too much power deployed at once, and a lot of players were just trying to keep at least one copy. Ideally one copy for the 3rd round, and then just to have this huge power play. And it was a little bit too
It's
crazy.
still a powerful play.
Yeah, it's still a
really powerful play. Yeah. If you manage to do this to damage, you have to have 3 units that are already damaged on the opposite side and just
Yeah.
That's a still big swing. The damage is still there that they're dealing, remember, so.
Now all together.
All right.
So what, Morgvarg?
Morgvarg we already talked about a little bit.
We talked about Olgerd.
Yeah,
but we didn't touch on Morgvarg.
We mentioned Morgvarg a little bit, but he's gotten quite a nice.
Well, his power changed to a 9, so the same as Olgerd. He's a 9.
They're both 9s, but they're both gonna half when they resurrect, right? So we've spoken about this when we talked about Olgerd in the beginning of the stream. But this is basically what's
the amount of Krach and Morgvarg plays was just too crazy. So I remember I talked with you guys and I was like, okay, is there any changes happening to Morgvarg and Olgerd? And you were like, yeah, of course we have to do something about them because they're being played constantly. And it's to a point, like you said, where you're playing Morgvarg and then you're playing a Wild Boar of the Sea next to him, and you're constantly buffing that unit, and then he's coming back with even more power, and and your opponent just passes, and you have to catch up. And sometimes to catch up, you have to play at least 2 or 3 cards to make it. So
that cold pass is like a slap in the face when you have both Olgerd and Morgvarg. But again, this is the carryover thing that we talked about, and the oppressiveness of these plays, right? As you just said. Needed fixing.
Yeah, talking about it, let's move down to Hjalmar. A card that saw significant play and was one of the win conditions, let's say, for.
Sorry, I can't help myself.
Keep doing it, it's throwing me off. Like whoa. Yeah. So if you think about it, we've kind of changed the way Tibor works. We changed Karen, but to all have 23 power after the latest update. What we forgot about is kind of Hjalmar, and Hjalmar should also hit this ceiling of 23 points, and he's actually doing that at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. So 23 should be how it is instead of 25. It's still a strong play.
It's still a 23 gold drop,
because we don't want him to be a card that won't be played anymore. But what we want is to have the same, like I said, the same ceiling for these cards.
And of course, the Kambi Hjalmar combo is still valid as always, as has been since the very beginning of this year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and also the Lord of Unvik is doomed.
Oh yeah.
Since we're here.
Since we're here, might as well.
Yeah.
What else should we do? Axeman?
Yeah. Clan Tersak. Yeah, so here we got rid of
we made
the veteran tag. Yeah, and I think it's from a 2 to a 3.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly.
From a 2 to a 3. That's exactly correct.
Yeah, or the X-Men as they call them.
Well, what?
They call them the X-Men.
The X-Men, as in with the... Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Instead of the X-Men. It's just short.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Berserker Marauder? Berserker Marauder?
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 George Marauder?
No. Should stop mumbling.
What?
Yeah. He's happy to see us. Yeah, he will now be strengthened for each damaged ally. And we changed his power to a 6 to an 8. So a card that we really like, but we saw he wasn't getting enough play. So there he is.
His breath, the freezing and the...
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah.
It looks like it's totally coming out of the
Yeah. There are quite a few actually. Yorvith is one of my favorites with the arrow.
With the arrow.
Yeah, it's
Looks
really
like
cool.
it's gonna fly.
Yeah, right, yeah. And when you move it this way, it really moves
Yeah.
in a really realistic way.
Yeah. All the premiums, a lot of hard work went into these.
Oh yeah.
So what? Heimdall?
Yeah.
Yeah, Crombie still saw a lot of significant plays. If you looked at not only the top, let's say, of the leaderboards, but just being
Everywhere,
played
yeah.
a lot.
Again,
and especially like playing Heimdall, giving your opponent 11 points was sometimes fine for you because you had Avalok was a 10 on the board,
Yes.
and what you would do pretty much. You would have another gold, and what you would do to your opponent is most of the decks had double shackles, for example, just to turn two gold cards
and then
of your opponents into silvers. And round 3, this was just super crazy, and it was a little bit too much. So we felt that it's better to actually give your opponent a little bit more points.
Yes. This is, as we said before, this is a very sort of easy trap for new players, right?
Yeah.
There are these cards that are appearing on your side of the board with a countdown. You kind of don't know how you're going to plan around it.
I mean, you can lock it, but your opponent can unlock it, and it will still happen.
There's a lot of that. But as a new player, this was a super oppressive play, and generally you felt like everything is ruined, right?
Yeah.
When this card is played.
Yeah.
And this is.
Yeah, and then like a subtle change, so changes to Ermion's power from a 6 to a 7, and things like consuming clan on crate raiders will not count as discarding them because this was something that wasn't working as intended.
Yes, okay.
And we talked about
Lord of Woundvik.
Lord of Woundvik and him being doomed now. Yeah.
All right. I think
that's it.
That's it for changes, right?
That's it.
Yeah. Of course, always read the patch notes for more.
Yeah, there'll be more info there, and it will be more detailed than what we covered here. And now the time you've all been waiting for.
Something new.
Something new
for you.
Yeah, let's have it pulled on the screen. It will be changes to what you see as when it comes to UI in the game. So it's something that we're slowly talking about, and it's having actually your friends and in-game chat in the game. So I know you guys were talking about this. It was requested. We decided to finally show it to you. We don't have an ETA for this yet. But of course, as you guys know, we'll keep you informed on our social channels, but not only. So this is how it will look. This is
a mock-up, of course.
Yeah, this is a mock-up. This is a work in progress.
UI team.
And as you see, you see 2 players interacting. You have your friends here. So it's something that a lot of players wanted, and we're like, okay, we have to slowly start to think how to do it. And I know, Jason Slama was working like super hard on this.
Oh yeah. So was the UI team, like
and the whole UI team, of course. But I mean, I mentioned Jason because most of the time I was talking to him. Plus, like he's over here, like two flags. This is his nickname, let's say. So.
Oh yeah, right.
So
of
that's
course.
that's why he came straight to my mind. But yeah, of course, like everything we do in the game is a team effort.
Of course. Those things that you see on the bottom left corner there, one of them is a notifications tab, and that where you can see, for instance, news that we have posted, or for instance, the patch notes if we've changed something.
in-game news.
Yeah, in-game notifications from our side. Of course, the card history is not gone; that's still in there. And then the other tab is the friends system and the whole social system and chat.
Yeah. And this is one of the changes. If you guys know, we've been like very vocal about it. That what we want to do is we want to introduce as many new UI changes to the game to make it look a little bit better, and also have a little bit more features and make it a little bit more intuitive for you guys. So that's one thing. And I didn't want to do this, but you can thank Rethis specifically, because he wanted us to show some 2 new arts of cards that are coming up, and that's one of them.
Now, to clarify, these are not coming in the next.
No.
This hotfix,
these are
right?
not
these
coming
are,
in the hotfix.
But we are planning.
These are the things that we're showing now are things that will come in the future.
In the future, we have a patch coming in August, and we're planning a lot of cool stuff for that.
Yeah. So yeah. For let's say that pretty much the next season, and of course, like we said, there will be we moved to the next one. There will be 20 new cards in total. What we want to focus a little bit more is on cards that will be bronzes, and we'll be kind of working around the archetypes that are in the game. So that's pretty much it. But with it, of course, we'll have some gold cards coming into the game and some silver cards. So be sure to wait for that. Yeah. And
some neutrals as well. There will be a few new neutrals, which will be very nice.
Yeah. If you played The Witcher 3, you know what that the specific species at the end was.
Yes.
There was a really cool quest with it. Yeah, this one. Yeah. And the Nilfgaard card, you could probably guess what his job description is, what he does. Yeah. No, he doesn't sell bread or milk. He has a different job. It's a bit bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Mega Magua is in chat, he'll like that. And that's only the beginning. All right.
Well, not the beginning of this stream.
Not the beginning of the stream. It's the end of the stream.
It is indeed.
So what I want to do is thank you guys. Of course, be sure to check out the patch notes once they're out. When it comes to the hotfix itself, it should be out in the following days. And of course, all this information will be shared via our social channels. So be sure to check that out. Yeah. Any last words?
Any last words? I have none. Dear Buja.
All right. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks you for watching. I see a lot of Polish players saying that they regret this wasn't in Polish. I'm sorry, I should have probably added more of that information once we were announcing it. That will be in English only, but we're trying to keep it in English to have everybody join in and tune in. As I said before, like the Polish speaking streams are not gone totally, so don't worry about that. We're just waiting for bigger updates where we will do it in different languages, so be sure to check that out. Thanks for the love, thank you for the good positive comments and the good vibes, and of course thank you for your feedback, because this is the most important thing for us. Any shout outs?
I don't know, Mom?
Just kidding. I did that once, yeah. Everybody was laughing at it, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, guys, and talk to you soon. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say soon. I did it again.
You always do